Have you ever wondered what the future that awaits us will be like? There is a place where pain, fear, and darkness simply have no place, where hope shines eternally and love is the light that guides all paths. Imagine a horizon where a new heaven and a new earth appear before your eyes, a reality so perfect that it transcends everything we know. This is not just a distant promise, but a vision revealed with surprising details, which can change the way you see the world forever. What would you do if you could glimpse the future of humanity, where the presence of God is so near that there is no longer any separation between the divine and the human? Get ready to dive into a journey that will renew your faith, your hope, and your purpose. In the silence of a heavenly vision, a new creation unfolds. The heaven and earth we all know are left behind, giving way to something infinitely greater. A radiant city, called New Jerusalem, descends from the heavens like a resplendent bride, ready to unite with her beloved. This is not an empty metaphor, but a living promise of renewal, an invitation to be part of a story that has been unfolding since the beginning of time until a glorious future. Every detail of this city is shrouded in mystery and beauty, a divine architecture that symbolizes peace, justice, and perfect communion with the Creator. Imagine the walls of this city, not just structures of protection, but symbols of the absolute security that God offers to all who believe. They are adorned with precious stones of colors that defy any imagination, each carrying a meaning of a divine purpose and an eternal promise. The gates never close because there is no fear there, no enemies, no darkness that can try to invade this heavenly sanctuary. It is a place where the light never goes out, because the glory of God illuminates everything, and the Lamb himself, a symbol of love, sacrifice, and redemption, is the eternal source of this light that guides everyone's steps. In this place, there is no more sadness, no more tears, no more pain. The old world with its injustices and suffering has passed forever. The voice that echoes from God's throne proclaims with power and tenderness, "Behold, I make all things new." These words carry a hope that surpasses any human despair, a promise that the future will not be a repetition of the past, but a radical and perfect transformation. It is the fulfillment of the divine dream where good triumphs and love reign sovereign. And it is not just a distant vision for a few chosen ones. It is an invitation to all who thirst for true life, for deep peace, for a greater purpose to exist. The water of life is available, flowing freely for whoever wants to drink without fear, for those who desire to quench a tired soul and find renewal amidst life's storms. This water does not dry up. This life never runs out. It is the source of eternity, the encounter with God himself who gives life abundantly. What does it mean then to live in this new reality? It means being part of a community where every face reflects divine light, where love is the supreme law and justice is perfect, where the light is no longer a natural element, but the very presence of God and the Lamb illuminating every moment, every step, every choice. It is the absence of evil, lies, and shame. Only those whose names are written in the book of life have access to this supreme communion, a book that represents the eternal connection with the Creator, a seal of acceptance and redemption. In the middle of this dazzling city runs a crystal-clear river, a source of life and healing for all nations. Its waters bring healing, restoration, and renewal to those who approach. On its banks, the tree of life blooms with 12 different fruits, representing fullness and abundance that never ends. This tree is not just a symbol, but a living reality that sustains all existence, offering nourishment and healing, an eternal cycle of renewal for every month of the year. Life in this new heaven and new earth is full, healthy, and free from any curse.
Here, God's servants will have the supreme privilege of seeing his face, of being in his continuous presence. It is an intimacy that surpasses any human relationship, a perfect communion that satisfies the deepest desire of the heart. There will be no more darkness, because God will be the eternal light that never fails. They will reign forever, living in peace, joy, and perfect harmony in a kingdom that will never end. But this grand vision is not meant to remain only in dreams or in the words of an ancient text. It is a call for each of us to prepare our hearts for this encounter, to align ourselves with this promise of life and renewal. It is a summons to live with purpose, to seek truth, to embrace the love that God offers freely. This is the moment to choose life, to connect with the eternal source that can transform even the most difficult circumstances into hope and victory. And you? Are you ready for this transformation? To leave behind what is old and embrace the new that God is bringing? This is not just a promise for a distant future, but a reality that can begin to manifest within you today. Renewal begins in the heart, in the decision to trust, to hope, and to walk toward the light that never goes out. If this message touched your heart, if you feel the desire to be part of this new creation, don't stay silent. Subscribe now to receive more content that brings hope, faith, and transformation. Leave your opinion in the comments, share your experiences, and help this video reach more people who, like you, are seeking a new beginning, a true and eternal life. Your voice can be the light that illuminates the path for someone who needs this message. Don't miss the opportunity to be part of this story of redemption and love that is being written now, forever. The invitation is made. Come drink from the water of life, enter the New Jerusalem, and discover the glorious future God has prepared for you. But what exactly awaits us in this new heaven and new earth? What transformations will go beyond what our human eyes can grasp? The vision of New Jerusalem is not only a promise of physical change, but a radical transformation of existence as we know it. A reality where the divine and the human merge in perfect harmony. Here, suffering, pain, and injustice will only be distant memories, overcome by the fullness of eternal life and God's unconditional love. Imagine a place where the concept of time and space is different, where eternity is not just a measure, but a living and continuous experience, where there is no separation between people, but a community of love and peace that reflects God's nature in every gesture, word, and look. This heavenly city represents the fulfillment of God's dream of perfect communion, a space where every soul is welcomed, valued, and loved without limits or conditions. The beauty of New Jerusalem goes far beyond the gold and precious stones that adorn it. The true beauty lies in God's presence among His people, which is the source of all light and life. The brightness that emanates from this divine presence is so intense that neither the sun nor the moon is needed to illuminate the city, for the glory of the Lord is its perpetual light. This light does not blind, but welcomes, guides, and transforms, revealing truth and dissipating all fear. Moreover, the absence of the temple is a powerful sign of this new reality. Unlike in ancient times when God dwelled in a specific place, now He is present everywhere, among all His sons and daughters. The Lamb is the center of this city, the focus of worship and the source of life that flows to all. This shows us that the relationship with God will be more intimate and direct than ever, without barriers or intermediaries, only pure communion.
This vision also brings an urgent call to live according to this future reality now. It is not just about passively waiting for a glorious future, but manifesting the values of God's kingdom here and now: justice, love, mercy, holiness, and truth. Every choice we make today impacts that promised eternity, and the promise of New Jerusalem challenges us to be light in the midst of darkness, salt in the earth that needs flavor and hope. The Book of Life, mentioned in this context, is the record of those who accepted this new life, who washed their robes and decided to walk with God. Being written in this book means having the guarantee of a place in New Jerusalem, the certainty that God's love has overcome all barriers. This security is not a prize earned by human merit, but a gift received by faith and grace. It is the confirmation that, despite difficulties and failures, there is forgiveness and restoration for all who turn to Him. And the promise of the water of life is an invitation that never runs out. Even in the moments of greatest spiritual thirst, it is available to satisfy us. No matter how far we have gone, how broken we feel, this water heals, renews, and strengthens. It is the living hope that keeps us firm, the sustenance that empowers us to continue despite challenges. Drinking from this water means entering an abundant life, full of purpose and true connection with the Creator. But perhaps the most impactful aspect of this vision is the certainty of God's constant presence. He is not a distant observer, but God with us, Emmanuel, who dwells among us, walks with us, and reigns in our hearts. This closeness is the greatest source of security, joy, and peace we can imagine. It is the promise that we will never be alone, that even in tribulations, God is by our side, guiding our steps to final victory. New Jerusalem also represents the end of divisions that have marked humanity for millennia. Division among peoples, races, cultures, and even between heaven and earth. All peoples will be gathered, living in unity, celebrating diversity as part of God's perfect plan. This city is a symbol of full reconciliation, where love conquers hate, peace conquers war, and communion conquers loneliness. Therefore, this vision is more than a promise for the future. It is a call to transform the present. Each of us is invited to be an active part of this story, living the values of God's kingdom, spreading light in the midst of darkness, showing the way of hope and restoration. It is an opportunity to renew faith, invigorate the spirit, and prepare for the eternity that awaits us. If you feel this flame ignite in your heart, do not let this message die here. Subscribe to the channel to follow content that nourishes the soul and strengthens faith. Leave your comment sharing what this vision means to you, and help spread this word that can transform lives. Share this video with friends, family, and all who need to hear that a glorious future awaits us. Remember, the invitation is open. The door to New Jerusalem is open to all who want to enter. The choice is yours. Hope is here, love is here, and eternal life awaits those who decide to follow this promise. Don't wait any longer to start living this new reality. Today is the day to prepare for the encounter with the God who makes all things new.